Welcome back, everybody. Okay, hello. I have returned. Today we are doing podcast. Podcast time. Okay, we're switching to chatting. Okay, it is time for the first ever podcast of my Tessa Twitch YouTube channel. Today we're gonna be reading the fanfic. Hang on, I forgot the name. The fanfic. This is not an act of spite. It's a Tommy Innick censored fic. It is on Archive of Our Own. The authors are Alex_once_2_die and Ella parentheses Ella Bella Chickadee-Chella. No spaces in between them. It's a very cool story. It's one of my favorites. I'm very happy about this story. It's definitely one of the ones that I've enjoyed the most. So yes, that's what we're going to be doing. We are going to be doing that. And let's get right into it. Okay. So hang on. Get on this way real quick. I'm just going to be on just chatting. And I'm going to read it in another tab. You guys do not get to see it. Because fuck you guys. Alright, let's see. I should get a drink. I've done that before I went live again. Is my coffee? Did I finish it all? No, I did not actually. I still have some. Cool. Every time I read out loud, my throat gets so itchy and sore, and then I start coughing a lot. It's always really funny because I'll read to my sister and I'll just be going like like that. I do that a lot. Yeah, so expect a lot of that. Just expect a lot. I'm going to try to slow myself down and actually read at a pace that people can understand me at, so that when I do my podcast, it doesn't just sound like okay, so maybe coming to the interview. We're going to slow it down, and I'm even going to try. Well, not really. I'm gonna try and do different voices, but I'm really bad at that, so I'll probably give up really quick. Like at the beginning of the podcast, I'll have like different voices for everyone, and then by the end of the podcast, it'll just be the same monotonous voice for everyone because I won't care anymore by that point. But yeah. Okay. Let's get this going. Big tired moment. Okay. So this is not an act of spite. Fourth chapter, in which nothing goes wrong for Tommy Innit. Okay, so maybe coming to the interview with a few broken bones was a... No, sorry, read the wrong thing. Okay, take two. Okay, so maybe coming to the interview with a few broken ribs was a bad idea, but what choice did he have? Just not come and keep on being unemployed? Several bad things could happen during his interview, given the circumstances. There was an AI in the building designed by Awesome Dude, which not only kept unwanted people from getting in, it scanned people for any unauthorized weapons or injuries. There was also the problem with his illegal documents since he wasn't... Oh, hang on. There's also the problem with his illegal documents since he wasn't an actual adult. But the biggest risk is that the job is at a hero organization. He's a vigilante, which is highly illegal. And as he stands in front of the huge building, he starts to question if he should really do this. The answer was obvious to him. Yesn't. He straightens his posture and walks in, trying extremely hard not to wince at the pain in his chest. He smiles at the receptionist at the front desk when she looks up at him, almost praying that the AI doesn't scan him. Hello, I'm here for the interview of the position of assistant. He didn't mean to make it sound like a question. He wanted to sound sure of what he was saying, but his nerves were getting the best of him. The lady, named Kristen according to a name tag, smiles back at him, and his nerves turn from crashing waves in a storm to soft raindrops, and he feels warm. She looks inside a drawer and pulls out a keycard from it. Please put this around your neck or make it visible at all times for Henry to be able to scan. He assumed Henry was the AI. This will give you access to the floors you need to go to and will expire after the day ends. If you get the job, you will receive a new badge to access most floors in the building. Kristen goes on as Tommy puts the bag around his neck. Around his neck. You'll go through that door. She points to the door a few feet to the left. Turn right, and there will be an elevator. She turns back to him. The waiting room for the interview is on the 46th floor. Just walk down the corridor, and there will be a room with people waiting. When your name is called, you'll head up to the 50th floor and head into the room labeled Interview Room. You'll have your interview there. I'm already failing. I'm getting so anxious. I know I'm doing bad. Okay, it's a false podcast. It's gonna be a little rough. It's fine. I'll figure it out in time. I'm just gonna turn that off because it's paining me. Tommy nods at her, processing the information given to him as his smile widens. Thank you. He walks through the door Kristen had pointed to after receiving a good luck from her. Walking through the corridor are multiple people, some in suits, some in lab coats. He tries his best not to crash into any of them as he maneuvers his way through, eventually reaching the elevator, which is surprisingly empty. He goes into it and presses the button to the 46th floor. He moves his hand up to his chest as a particularly sharp pain hits him, and he almost screams when he hears a male voice speak up. You seem to have 2 broken ribs and a bruised stomach. These injuries cause immense pain and should be treated at a hospital. Shall I notify the Manborg's hospital to come and get you? So that was Henry. At least he didn't scan her at the front desk. Oh no, it's okay. I'll get medical help once I'm out of the building. He winces at the way his voice trembles. Understood. Still, I must inform a higher-up of your injuries as protocol. When he tried yelling at the AI to please, for the love of crime, not tell anyone, Henry didn't respond, leaving him in a suspenseful silence as he seriously considered quitting right now as to not screw up his possibilities of getting the job any more than they already were. Hang on, my camera's doing weird things. Okay. So there's not much he can do. But wait, for when he reaches his floor, and as he enters the waiting room, he realizes he might have misjudged just how many people were trying out for the position. The room was like the waiting rooms in a hospital, rows of chairs that in total could hold at least 40 people. But right now there were people standing because all of the seats were taken. He nervously stands by the entrance of the room, as far away from other people and unwanted conversations as he could be. Even so, there wasn't much conversation happening. Most people were just looking over papers anxiously, muttering to themselves, while the other minority of people were just looking as confident as ever, glaring at each other like they had each committed a horrendous crime. People were dressed in fancy suits, surely to make a good impression. He can feel the looks as they analyze his simple hoodie and jeans. In his defense, he seriously had more important things to spend money on than a stupid fancy outfit. He almost falls asleep where he's standing, and his legs are seriously starting to cramp from how long he had been there waiting. It had to have been at least 2 hours. He should have expected it from the 60-something people that had been waiting when he entered the room. He was sure the only reason he didn't fall asleep was because of the constant pain in his chest with every breath he took. He jumps when he hears his fake name being called by Henry, was all seeing some stares by the people still in the room. He moves swiftly out of the room, not being able to stand being there any longer than he has to. Once he gets into the elevator, he hesitates before pressing the button to the 50th floor. He shifts his weight from one foot to the other as the elevator goes up, getting closer and closer to his destination, and also he just gets closer to being sent into a panic attack. So he keeps his attention on anything he can see and hear to ground himself and power through this. He moves almost automatically when the doors open, and before he notices, he's in front of the room set for his interview. He stares at it, examining the door as if it were the most interesting thing to ever exist. He wrings his hands, breathing starting to get a little harder and chest throbbing as he takes deep breaths. You seem to be experiencing high levels of distress. Would you like me to contact someone to assist you? He snaps back to reality when Henry's voice speaks up. He takes a few small breaths to calm himself down. No, it's okay. I'm okay. There's no need to call anyone over, he says tremblingly, looking up to the ceiling as if that's where Henry would be. If you say so, sir. If you need assistance, just call my name. Tommy hums in response, knocking on the door in front of him without thinking twice about it. When he gets the confirmation to come in, he takes one last deep breath that sends pain through his torso and enters the room with a new air of confidence to him, as if he wasn't about to have a panic attack at the door just moments before. That confidence crumbles, and he nearly drops to the floor crying when he sees who's sitting at the desk inside the room, ready to interview him. Number 4 hero, Spectro, also known as Wilbur Sut, is sitting there looking over some papers that he assumes belong to his file. He almost leaps when the hero looks straight at him. Thomas Underscore, right? Please, take a seat. When his legs start working again, he marches over and takes a seat opposite of the hero. You may know me as Spectro, but I prefer you just call me by my name, Wilbur. The hero Wilbur gives him a strange smile, probably tired from the many people he has interviewed so far. Tommy gives the man a nod, his own strange smile making an appearance, his fiddling hands making his anxiety known. Okay, first things first, I need to know if you are ready to deal with any dangers that may come with this job. The hero's eyes seem to be searching for something. I understand if you say no. It's a bit of a deal breaker, amongst many. It dawns on Tommy after a moment. He's challenging him. And by prime, Tommy is not someone who backs down when challenged. I'm fine with the dangers of this job. After all, he gives a cheeky grin to the hero, Danger is my middle name. Wilbur looked at his file before stifling a laugh, clearing his throat to try and hide it. I see. Well, follow-up question. How do you deal with situations of great stress? Tommy refrains from tilting his head. Well, I suppose it depends on the situation. If you're talking about deadlines and such, that's not much of a problem. If it's crime-related, like, let's say, a kidnapping, I'm sure there would be a way of contacting you. And if not, I've had self-defense classes. He pauses, looking the hero in the eye. I can hold my own in a fight. The hero in front of him seems to be processing the information given to him, and Tommy realizes he may have talked too much. Well, fuck. Tubbo had told him at least half a dozen times to keep his answers short, do not talk too much. Well, there goes that plan. Why do you want to work here? Wilbur finally asks. When I was young, I wanted to be a hero. When I later on didn't develop any abilities, I gave up. But I guess the closest thing to that would be working with heroes. Wilbur seems to poke up to that. You have no abilities? Looks back down at Tommy's file, reading it over. No, but I believe that shouldn't affect my work in any way. Tommy tries to swallow the knot in his throat. Had lying about his abilities been the right move? Wilbur smiles at him. The first genuine smile he had seen from the man. I believe so too. Okay, Wilbur closes the file on his desk. Anything else you want to say? Or are we done here? Tommy almost stumbles over the words that want to spill out of his mouth. That's it? 3 questions and that's it? Had he fucked up that badly? Oh no, that's it. Thank you for your time. Actually, Soul, Thomas seems to have 2 broken ribs and a bruised stomach. Silence. Fucking snitch! He is so not getting this job. Alright. End of chapter 1. Real quick, let me check my Discord notifications, because I've been getting a lot of them. Okay. Nothing important. Alright, we're good. Back. Chapter 2. In which Tommy Innit just wants to go home. Oh, I relate. I am home, and I relate. Coffee. Okay. Wilbur stares at him with muted tail, mouth opening and closing as he thinks of what to say. There is no way Tommy is getting this job. They stare at each other. The silence in the room is deafening, and Tommy feels like throwing up. And then Wilbur is standing up and rushing to his side, looking so pale he could have been mistaken by a ghost. Why are you here if you have 2 broken ribs? Wilbur stresses. frantically looking over him, hands risen up, but hesitant to touch him as if scared to cause any more damage. Well, I couldn't just reschedule an interview like that, Tommy forces out. Wibble snaps his mouth shut, looking at Tommy in disbelief before speaking up again. Henry, please cancel the rest of my interviews for the day or ask someone to cover for me. Doesn't matter. You, addresses Tommy, are coming with me. Tommy can't even protest as he stands up, the hero holding onto his arm and leading him out of the room. Henry, please tell Techno to meet me in the med bay. Who the hell is Techno? The hospital floor soul? Yes, the hospital floor! The man almost yells out, stressed, still careful as to not grab onto Tommy too forcefully. Sorry. Tommy looks at Wibble quizzically. Had this man just apologized to the AI? He's getting more and more confused by the second. The only way to describe the atmosphere when they're both in the elevator is awkward. They just stand there. Silent. That is until Tommy just can't keep quiet anymore. So, starting off strong, huh? Do you have object permanence? Wibble looks at him. What? Do you have object permanence? He tries again. Wibble keeps staring at him. Dude, was this man deaf or mute? Object permanence? Ah, he speaks. Yeah, you know, when you play peekaboo with babies and they don't know where you go. They think you're not there anymore, so they don't have object permanence. He pauses. Fuck it, he's not getting this job anyway. Are you a baby? Are you a baby, Wibble? Thomas, of course I have object permanence, Wibble answers slowly, as if Tommy would find it difficult to understand. First of all, call me Tommy. Second of all, he scoffs, turning his head so that he's looking at the elevator doors and not Wibble. I'm sorry, but if you close the door to my room and you're looking outside, you simply just do not exist anymore. Tommy, I still exist when you can't see me, he says like an idiot. No. Wibble stares at him, terrified. How the fuck did you do? Listen, when I can't see you, you simply do not exist. You're simply a figment of my imagination. Before Wibble can even try and debate with Tommy anymore, Tommy's speaking up again. This elevator ride is taking an awfully long time. Well, now that you mention it, you're right. Wibble looks up to see on which floor they're at, and that's when he realizes he hadn't clicked on the floor yet. Tommy and Wibble look at each other, silent. Then they proceed to laugh to the point of tears. It was stupid. They were stupid. Bunch of idiots. Well, it was funny until Tommy started wheezing in pain, out of breath. He clutches his chest at the pain that spreads through it. The laughter immediately stops, and Wibble rushes to press the button to the correct floor, holding on to Tommy and supporting him so he doesn't fall to the floor. As they go up to the med bay, the only thing Tommy can think about is, this day just can't get any worse. When the elevator doors open, he is met by a pink-haired man standing there with crossed arms, who he immediately recognizes as the Blade. Well, seems that he spoke too soon. He spoke too soon. The Blade's eyes immediately meet his own, moving to look at Wibble. Why do you have a child with you? That didn't really sound like a question. Tommy folds his eyebrows. I'm 19, you stupid cunt. And Wibble's laughing again. The Blade doesn't look impressed in the slightest. He keeps looking at Wibble, waiting for him to stop laughing so he could explain the situation. Wibble coughs, trying to keep his laughter under control. He has 2 broken ribs and a bruised stomach. And you're laughing? He raises an eyebrow before looking at Tommy. Come on, kid, sit on the bed so we can treat you. He gestures to one of the many medical beds in the room. Tommy refrains from answering that he is, in fact, not a kid. Just does as he's told, hissing at the sharp pain on his torso. Honestly, Wibble, treating broken ribs and a bruised stomach is easy. You could have done it yourself instead of, you look straight at Wibble, calling me and interrupting my walk. By walk, you mean watching SpongeBob with videos of guinea pigs, Techno? The Blade, or Techno apparently, scoffs as if embarrassed. By walk, I mean walk that is confidential and that we should not talk about in front of a child, he states as he takes an ice pack from a minifig out of the room. Blade, I'm gonna punch you into the fucking sun if you call me a child again. Wibble stifles a laugh, coughing into his hand to hide it as Techno narrows his eyes in Tommy's direction. Here, take this. He hands Tommy a glass of water and a pill. Tommy hesitates before swallowing it down with the water. Okay, now take your hoodie off and sit up with your back straight. I need to check how bad the fracture is before deciding how to treat it. Tommy scrunches his face in distaste, extremely hesitant to do it before deciding, fuck it. They already know about the injuries, and taking his hoodie and t-shirt off. No, I read that wrong. They already know about the injuries. Taking his hoodie and t-shirt off and sitting up straighter. He hisses in pain when Techno presses down on his chest, touching on the dark bruises. When and how did this happen? Well, it happened maybe 2 days ago. I was mugged when going grocery shopping. I guess I didn't think it was broken. Please believe me, please believe me, please, for the love of crime, believe me. Techno hums in acknowledgement. It's broken, all right. The fracture seems to have been caused by a blunt weapon. Tell me, have you been having any extreme shortness of breath, dizziness, or confusion, and coughing up blood, feeling weak in general? Shortness of breath, yes, a bit. The rest, no. Good. You don't need surgery. From what I felt, it seems to be an incomplete fracture. It's not broken all the way through. He picks up an ice pack, holding it out to Tommy. Put this on your chest. It'll relieve the pain. Take acetaminophen, sure, or ibuprofen. Any painkiller really if the pain is too strong. And do not, do not, wrap your chest with bandages. He waits for Tommy to nod before finishing. As for the bruised stomach, just put ice on it for 10 minutes. Wait 20 minutes before putting it back. You can also use a heating pad. It'll help too. Tommy swallows, trying to push his embarrassment down. As Techno puts the medication away and Wilbur stares at him. Alright, Will. I need to talk to you, kid. Tommy glares at him. Just stay here. Keep the ice on your chest. Techno pulls Wilbur aside by the elevator doors. Tommy can only catch the words Hyle, Phil, and Tommy for giving up on eavesdropping and instead choosing to look around the room. It was spacious, a bunch of medical beds with curtains in between. There were also other rooms. He was pretty sure the whole floor was dedicated to treating the hero's injuries. If they get as injured during patrol as I do, then they probably need it. Protecting this room would probably be something Tubbo would die to see, even if their whole purpose was to treat injuries. Tommy grimaces at the thought of Tubbo. He and Rambo had been worried enough about him trying out for the SBI's assistant as it was. When they found out all of this mess happened, he'd be as good as dead. He barely notices the heroes coming back until they're right in front of him. Wilbur looking a tad bit more worried than he was before, and Techno looking like he didn't like the fact that he had been... No, I read that wrong. Techno looking like he didn't like the fate that had been sealed for him. Alright, we're gonna keep you here for just a few more minutes, and then you'll be free to go on your way. That is, unless you have any other injuries. Techno tilts his head at him, which is strangely terrifying. Tommy feels confused for a second. Wouldn't Henry notify you of all my injuries? Henry only tells us the most severe injuries, the one we should prioritize, the ones that can be dealt with less urgency, left on the back burner. Will explains this time, speaking to him for the last... For the first time since he started getting treated. I don't think I have any other injuries. Nothing else hurts, Tommy finally answers the question. Henry? No other injuries of importance. He has bruises on his legs and back, but these seem to be almost completely healed. Henry informs helpfully. Not. More injuries, Alas quietly as Techno takes a look at his back. Muggings happen often in Luxorshire. Only been caught by them a couple times. Wilbur looks at Techno like he had just seen a kicked puppy before looking back at Tommy to address him. You live in Luxorshire? Yeah, I live with my two roommates. He answers with uncertainty, not sure whether or not that was the right answer. One of them is studying technology and robotics. Alright, well, I think you're stable enough to go home now, Techno states, taking the ice from Tommy to put away. Are you okay to go home alone, or would you like me to drop you off? Wilbur asks worriedly, looking over him as he puts his hoodie back on. I think I should drop you off. No, it's okay, I'm fine with going alone. He gives him a grimacing smile. There's no need for you to drop me off. If you say so. Tommy nods, standing up from where he was sitting and holding back a wince at his still holding chest. He waves goodbye at the two heroes as he speed walks towards the elevator. Once inside and the doors closed, he drops to the floor slowly, breathing in and out slowly with wide eyes. So we can all agree that Tommy is not getting this job, right? Okay, end of chapter 2. I'm dying. I'm not good at reading out loud. Alright, checking Discord notifications. Okay, nothing important still. We're good. I'm gonna check Twitter real quick. Just real quick. Just quick little Twitter checking. You know, as I do. I'm just scrolling through Twitter real quick. Twiddle is Pog. Twiddle is very Pog. I'm a big Twiddle fan. I can probably scroll through Twitter for hours. I'm not going to, but I do want to look. Just go for a bit, you know, just a little bit of scrolling. Interesting. I'm excited. I just saw something about a content house, and I do like content houses. I do enjoy my a little bit of content houses, you know. Okay. Just a little bit more twiddle. Okay. We're good. Go now. I'm done. We're back. We're back to chapter 3. Chapter 3 time. In which Tommy and it meet some Kinnies. Kinnies. What's a Kinnie? Hang on, I've actually seen that word a lot. So I'm gonna Google it. Kinnie. Someone who heavily relates to a character? Okay. Okay. Hi, I'm so ready. They took care of your broken ribs? Well, it's not like I fucking told them. Tubbo is calmly pacing from side to side, hands on his ears as if that stopped any of Tommy's nonsense from passing through. Mamby was just sitting on the couch, watching the scene unfold, his expression anxious. Tubbo stalks in an abrupt manner, turning to look at Tommy so fast Tommy winces when he hears a crack. Then who, pray tell, the fuck told them? Tommy raises his eyes in indignation. The AI is a fucking snitch. It's not my fault. Maybe if you hadn't been so cocky while on patrol and fucking destroyed the earpiece, you know, the one that keeps you alive, you wouldn't have 2 broken ribs. Tommy sits down beside Mambu, pouting. I'm a big man. I don't need your fucking earpiece. You're a fucking idiot is what you are. They look at each other in silence, almost as if they were having their own non-verbal conversation. So, what do you guys want for dinner? Mambu asks quietly and awkwardly from his place on the couch. A punch in Tommy's stupid fucking jaw, Tubbo scowls. Fuck you, we're having burgers. Fuck you, sausage rolls. We're having burgers, Tommy crosses his arms. We are not. We are, you clingy bastard. I want sausage rolls. I want burgers. And I want you to stop taking out your earpiece. Tubbo's glare hardens as he bends down, picking up a stray sock off the ground and throwing it at Tommy. Tommy brings his arms up to use it as a shield. And I want you to stop underestimating me. Well, maybe if the burgers didn't think they were important, we could have them for dinner, Tubbo finally yells out. Tommy stands back up. Maybe if the sausage rolls weren't overprotective, clingy bastards that underestimated me, we'd have them in the fridge. This is funny. Dude, I'll just make spaghetti. And Boo mutters to himself, standing up tiredly and walking to the kitchen, leaving his 2 roommates to keep arguing in whatever metaphors they were using. During dinner, both teens glare at each other, and Boo pointedly ignoring them and talking about the frog he saw while coming back from work. And when they're done with the when they're done, another argument has started up. You're not going on patrol, Tubbo says with crossed arms, looking like a disappointed mother. Fuck you, I'm going on patrol, Tommy answers, already halfway out the window, clad in his suit. Well, maybe calling it a suit was too generous. It was just a black and red hoodie with some loose pants. The only thing covering his face was a black face mask and goggles Tubbo had made. His head was covered by his hood most of the time. He often held it up with magic so it wouldn't fall. You have 2 broken fucking ribs. Tommy, quick, and Angel underscore beloved in it. Your point being, Tommy. See ya! Tommy half yells and promptly jumps out the window. He boosts himself up onto the top of another building with his magic, adrenaline coursing through his body at the thought of falling from this height. He pushes himself on top of the building, eyes scanning the area around him. It was a quiet night, so it'd probably be a slow night as well. After all, who commits crimes on a Tuesday? True. Who would dare? Tebo hadn't informed him of any activity yet through his calm, which he had put on for his own safety against Tebo. So he assumed that for now he was free to do as he pleases. So he jumps from building to building, simply appreciating the way his magic fell. He almost misses a jump when he sees Quackity, a hero, standing there looking at him. He stumbles forward when he lands on the building, stopping himself with his magic before he can crash into the hero. They stand looking at each other in silence. That seems to be happening a lot lately. How's it going, man? The hero smiles at him, posture relaxed. Tommy straightens his stance slightly, suspicious. He stays quiet. You don't talk much, do you? Tommy shakes his head. No, bringing his hands up to sign. Okay, I can't sign. So, to sign, I don't talk. Quackity stares at him with a confused look on his face. I don't understand sign language. So in a moment of bravery, and because his instincts told him to, he flips the hero off, which as a result makes Quackity almost fall over laughing. The hero points at him, hiccups from laughter, interrupting as he tries to speak. Now that I do understand, the hero asks, clutching his stomach as he doubles over. Tommy stares at him, hand over his mouth to contain his own giggles, the hero's laughter being infectious. Infectious? His posture relaxed slightly, highly doubting the hero could arrest him in this state. After the hero calms down, he simply sits down on the floor, patting the spot beside him as an invite. Tommy is still not completely trusting him, sits down in front of him, a good distance between them. I'm not here to arrest you if that's what you're worried about. Quackity pops his hand on his head in apparent boredom, like this. I don't really care what you're up to, as long as you don't... Oh, it just says... I don't really care what you're up to, as long as you don't commit some major crime. But I got curious about you after I saw you on YouTube. He was on YouTube? I didn't think anyone had filmed him while on patrol. How many people knew about him now? So, I wanted to know what your name is, but I guess that'll be harder than I thought, huh? Then he mutters to himself. Should have brought a pen and paper just in case. Excuse me? Tommy tilts his head, unable to show his exact emotions with his face covered. He doesn't even have a name. He didn't think that far ahead when he decided to become a vigilante, since it was such a sudden decision. He didn't really deem it necessary. Until now, that is. He shrugged at the hero, trying to convey his thoughts into words. The hero only stares at him, confused. Tommy makes an exaggerated motion of rolling his eyes, shrugging again. You don't know? The hero asks, seemingly more confused than he already was. Tommy shrugs once again when he hears his earpiece beep, and Temple's voice is filtering through. Tommy holds up a finger to shut the hero up before he's even talking. There seems to be reports of a robbery on the bank, 2 blocks down north from what Rambo saw there were 5 people, all in hero masks. Tommy looks in the direction Tubbo directed him. He quickly gives the hero a 2-finger salute before boosting... 2-finger salute? Salute? I don't know. Any more information? Oh, 2-finger salute before boosting himself off the building and towards the bank. Any more information? He mutters to the comm. One guy's pal seems to be fire-breathing, so be sure to look out for that. Everyone else has guns, so I'm assuming they don't have powers. Don't let your guard down, though. He does an epic landing in front of the bank, because of course he does, and looks at the men trying to currently break into the high-security protected bank. He leans back on a dumpster behind him, uncaring of how dirty it can possibly be. He watches the men struggle to get through the security for a few seconds, amused. He bangs his fist on the side of the dumpster 3 times with force, almost letting out a loud laugh, and all the guys turn to look at him simultaneously. The stupid hero Max, with exaggerated features staring into his soul. He salutes them, leaning heavily on the dumpster. He yawns, crossing his arms and just looking at the men. He wants to make a sarcastic remark so bad. One of the men, who has a dream mask, drops his gun. Then there's a car being thrown at him. Tommy startles. Telekinesis, huh? Well, he has his own tricks as well. The car is then covered by a red aura as it stops midair. The man who threw the car at him makes a sound of surprise, frozen as he watches the car be thrown down the street. Tommy winces when he hears it crash. He feels bad. He feels bad for the poor person whose car just got destroyed. He hopes whoever the car belongs to has insurance. He's busy looking at the tipped-over car when he hears fast-paced footsteps coming in his direction. When he looks back, he barely has time to duck from a punch being thrown at him. He punches the guy in the face, registering that he has a blade mask before springing right back into action. He really hopes the tipped-over car has insurance. Another thing is thrown at him. Caught against the wall, and he dives out of the way. Landing on top of the dumpster, he looks over at everyone looking up at him with the just god-awful masks. Like, he's seen some bad masks, but these are up there. This sort of cheap stuff that people find at the dollar store. A metal trash can lid flies at him, and Tommy throws out his hand. It stops in the air, floating there a moment, before flinging it at the person who threw it at him. A dream mask. The eyes were in the wrong spot. It clatters against the portion, and the dream kitty falls to the ground. Tommy flicks his wrist, and the dream kitty floats in the air for a moment, surrounded by red for a split second. Twisting his other hand, he opens the dumpster lid to his left and just puts the dream kitty in the dumpster. Someone cries out, for the friend, apparently. And all Tommy could do was sigh. He flips off of the dumpster. Shut up. No, he didn't fall flat on his face. Definitely not. Heat erupts in front of him, and Tommy stumbled back, feeling the tips of his gloves singeing at it. Ah, a Satnap kitty. Shocker. Fire breather and all. There's the Blade kitty, Dream kitty, in the dumpster. Satnap kitty. The Spectral kitty. It's literally just Spectral's face on a mask. It's funny. And the Gumi Ho kitty. 2 powered, 3 not. Cool. He could do this. Wait, the Dream kitty has telekinesis. The dumpster lid slams open and someone lands on Tommy's back, forcing him to hit the ground, and he does hit the ground with a thump. Okay. Ow. He really hopes his car has insurance. He groans under the feet under his back, his poor ribs. Slowly he raises a hand, trying to focus on the car that has been thrown down the street. His magic grips it. He can feel it. He really, really hopes this poor car has insurance. The car flies into the small part of the alley, and with the momentary confusion, he rolls out from under the Dream Kitty's leg and, mostly out of spite, twists it in a way that has the kitty on the floor. Tommy stands up, looking around for the next thing. The Sapnap kitty was trapped under the car. The other 3 were trying to help them out, which is very cute, honestly. Too bad. Tommy flicks his wrist again, all of the Max kitties being surrounded by his magic. Flicking his wrists again, they're all swimming against the wall. Tommy walks up to them, zip ties their wrists together. He zip ties them together, then zip ties the group's dumpster. He sighs, looking at the Sapnap kitty, who is still trying to burn him by breathing fire all aggressively. Rude. Then, as a mature adult he is, he stands on top of the dumpster, grabs a permanent marker from his pocket. It's useful, okay? Kitty tried to rob a bank. More at 7. Please arrest them. Smiley face. He jumps off the dumpster with a flip, mostly to show off, if he's being quite frank, and flips off the kitties now on a ball of arms, legs, and trying to attempt to get away. They wouldn't get away. As long as the telekinesis guy didn't look at any of the... He jumps with a sigh. Tommy walks over and grabs a scarf next to the dumpster, for tying it around the Dream Kitty's eyes, making him unable to use his powers. He protests, but it won't do shit. There. Now they won't get away. And he runs down the street. Another successful crime dealt with. Once he can hear sirens coming near the bank, he slumps against the wall of an alleyway, putting his hand to his chest and goading up the pain. So much for getting better. He ends up helping the people do minor stuff the rest of the night. Feeding some stray cats with the food an old lady leaves out for him to do so, helping out the guy load his moving truck because he didn't have time to do it during the day, etc. When he gets home through the window and tiredly takes off his mask and goggles, he barely has time to set foot on the floor before Rambo and Tubbo are screaming at his face. He almost gets whiplash from the difference between the silence outside and his roommates yelling. Eventually the screaming dies down and they just sit there, standing while staring at him. He looks at them tiredly. What? You received an email from the SBI. Tommy stands there, processing the information, almost like an old computer, before he's once again full of energy and running over to Tubbo's computer. The email hadn't been opened yet, and he already feels the worst. They take small breaths before opening the email, already expecting it to start with, "We regret to inform you that," and yada yada. So when that's not what he's met with, his brain kind of shuts down. He turns slowly, very slowly, to his roommates. What the fuck? He asks calmly. You got the job? How the fuck did he get the job? What? End of chapter 3. That was fun. I'm losing my voice. It's getting all itchy again. Okay. Okay. Almost to the 1 hour. So we're gonna do one more chapter and then we're probably gonna stop. Let's see. Chapter 4, in which his new job is interesting. He had promised himself that as soon as he saw Wubble Soot, he would just punt him. Just punt him. Straight into fucking Pluto or some shit. He just did not deserve to have a panic attack over being accepted into the position of assistant. The interview didn't even go well for Prime's sake. So why the actual fuck did the FBI employ him? When he enters the building, he almost doesn't say hi to Kristen in his confusion, only really paying attention to her when she handed him his keycard. Right after that, he quickly waves goodbye to her and goes straight to the elevator. Henry takes him to the FBI floor without even needing to be told to. He taps his foot on the floor, counting the seconds as he goes up to the 69th floor. Really? If you're laughing, haha, real mature. But comedy gold, guys, come on, laugh it up. Once the elevator door is open, he barely has time to walk into the room before Henry's voice is loudly sounding out. Hey, look at this fucking loser, his ribs are worse. Oh, what the fuck? Loud laughter erupts from what he sees as the couch. He sees Spectral and Wubble doubled over laughing. Techno sitting there, looking at him over the back of the couch. Tommy glares, and if he gets fired for what he's about to do, then so fucking be it. Wubble, prepare yourself, for I am about to punt you. He's a decent man. He warns people before punting them. God, he's so poggles. Whoa, 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 what? He laughs, straightening his posture, looking at Tommy with a confused and amused smile on his face. He looks fucking stupid. I am going to punt you. I'll pay you $50 if you do, Techno calls out, the twitch on his lips giving away his amusement. Wubble quickly turns to look at his brother. Techno, you better keep that promise, big man. And then he kicks Wubble in the shin. Because he's not about to kick a guy in the balls. When Wubble falls to the floor in pain, Techno stands up laughing, stumbling a bit towards him and wincing. Wubble immediately looks up at Techno, eyes searching. Techno waves a hand at him derisively, now walking without a limp towards Tommy. He seems to take out a $50 note out of thin air. Tommy looks him up and down confusedly. He didn't have pockets. And handing it to Tommy. Tommy looks at him strangely. You okay there, big man? Tommy shrugs, turning to sit back down on the couch. It's got a bit roughed up during training. Patrol didn't help much. Tommy looks down at Wubble, who's back at holding his shin in pain and muttering curses. Well, those heels. Then the biggest man walks in through the elevator. Maybe he could even be considered God himself. The only man ever. Phil's a Minecraft. Which one of you shits reprogrammed Henry? Techno points at Wubble, looking over some book he had picked up. Phil looks down at Wubble, a disappointed look on his face. Wubble flips off Techno, knowing he is being accused without even having to look up. He slowly stands back up, muttering something about Techno and legs before looking down at Philza. How dare he look down upon Philza when he is supposed to be looked up at? Techno did. You know I got blocked from the system. Sam doesn't let me mess with Henry anymore. He crosses his arms, obviously disliking his inability to use the AI for his own benefit and amusement. Phil nods, his own arms crossed, wings tight against his back as he finally looks over at Tommy. And Tommy freezes. I mean, who wouldn't? It's Phil's a fucking Minecraft, are you kidding me? And then Phil does this noise that sounds like a bird chirping, smiling at him. Hey, you're Thomas, right? Pleasure meeting you, mate. If Tommy could die, he could die, and he'd be happy. Through the turmoil in his mind, Tommy is able to answer with a small pleasure. May I gently remind you that Thomas's ribs are worse than they were the last time he was here. Wubble's face morphed into one of panic, immediately moving closer to Tommy, babbling about the med bay or something like that. Painkiller in the kitchen. Second floor next to the fridge. The ones you're looking for are at the back. Techno comments offhandedly. It was all Wubble pulls Techno to sit at the kitchen counter while he looks for the medicine. Either Techno has no care for his own safety during patrol and training, or he's had to deal with Wubble's injuries one too many times. Either way, it's concerning. Philza follows them, calmly going over to the drawer Wubble was looking through and pulling the painkillers out. Wimble snatched them from his hands, taking out a water bottle from the fridge and giving it all to Tommy, panic still very much evident on his features. Tommy quietly takes the painkillers, mostly for Wimble's sake. His ribs didn't hurt that much. Bruised chest? Phil's asks, and of course he's going to answer. This is the only man ever. Broken, actually. Phil's blinks at him. Broken. Broken ribs? Well, here we go, Techno states. Why did you come to work? Phil stresses, looking up at him just like Wilbur had done. Tommy looks up at them. Honestly? I was going to plant Wilbur. For a long moment, the silence settles around them. For Techno bursts out laughing across the room. You are my new favorite person, he doubles over, clutching his stomach. You gonna what, Nick? Punt Wilbur? He says slowly, looking at both of them for his reaction. Okay, first of all, my interview was shit. Second of all, there were like at least 100 other people showed up and didn't need to go to the medical floor. Mate, Phil says, glancing at Wilbur. Your interview was good. Wait, what? Look, Wilbur sits on the stool next to him. Stool on the stool next to him. We didn't want some stuck-up fucking wanker. Don't swear, it's his first day, Techno adds, glancing up from a book. Where the fuck did he get a book from? Unprofessional. However, looks at Tommy. If you kick Wilbur, I'll pay you double time. You don't pay him, Phil sighs. Will backs up, hands up in defense. Please don't kick me again. I'll do almost anything. Tommy raises an eyebrow, and he looks at the both of them. He's scared of me? Phil sighs and runs a hand on his face. Have the painkillers. Wilbur, stop toweling. Techno, stop laughing. Tommy, you can keep doing whatever you're doing, I guess. Thank you, Phil's a Minecraft, Tommy says, staring at Phil. Because if Phil's a Minecraft, the man, myth, and legend himself tells you to do something, better do it. No questions asked. He has the painkillers with a practiced motion that makes Techno raise an eyebrow. Wilbur still looks quite scared and keeps his distance from Tommy. Phil sighs. Again, he seems to be doing that a lot, and it's not like Tommy can exactly fault him for that. Right, Phil hands across from the counter. So you know what this job entitles, right? Well, I read the email. Did Will not tell you at your interview? I was slightly occupied, Wilbur replies, broken ribs and all. Phil rolls his eyes and waves his hand, which shuts Wilbur up pretty quickly. Good. Phil's a Minecraft as well as full respect from everyone. Tommy nods, still a bit shaky. Because it Phil's a Minecraft. The man himself. With those fabulous wings and the general coolness. One time he stopped a bus from falling, he says, because he's an idiot with absolutely no filter or control. Phil smiles, one side of his mouth lifting up. He looks amused, as does Wilbur, who's also grinning. I did, he confirms, amusement clear in his voice. You're so cool, Tommy sighs. Phil's a Minecraft, everyone. Wilbur laughs, shaking his head slightly as he did so. Phil, we hired a fanboy. Leave him alone, Phil grins. It might be nice to get at least a little bit of respect around here. For a while. Is someone disrespecting you? Tommy asks, standing up, looking at Wilbur. I will kick anyone disrespecting you. Are you disrespecting Phil's on Minecraft? No, Wilbur cries out, stumbling back, tipping over the back of the couch. It appears this fucking idiot fell over the couch. A robotic voice, Henry, says to the room. Get the fuck back up, Wilbur. Techno laughs again, clutching at his stomach. What happened to Henry? Tommy asked. It appears that someone who's amazing hijacked my code. I would like to apologize for anything I say while I am a bitch. Tommy snorts and looks at Phil. Phil sighs. I am not dealing with this, Phil says. Tommy, come with me. Wilbur, you have so much paperwork. Techno, rest up. Yes, Dadza. That's copyrighted, Techno adds lazily. Phil shakes his head and gestures to Tommy. He gets up. Follow me. Yes, Phil's on Minecraft. They walked a short distance. It really wasn't that far. Down a hallway and to the left. In the hallway there were 10 doors. 3 of them had golden plaques. Were they actually gold? The Spectral, the Blade, and Philza engraved onto them. The other 7 didn't have anything on them. They were just brown doors. Here are our offices, Phil says, as if Tommy couldn't guess. The ones across from us belong to our team. Team? PR people. All that. Oh. Yeah, Phil sighs. We have entire floors dedicated to this shit. Here are our main people. We have agents and stuff up here. Your office space is Knoxville and taps on the door across from Will's office. It's not huge, but hey. The door swings open and Tommy stares at the office it revealed. Sure, it wasn't big. Had room for a desk, bookshelf, and a very, very fancy computer sitting on top of the desk. Holy shit, Tommy says before slapping his hand to his mouth. Am I allowed to swear? Yes, mate, Phil laughs, leaning against the doorway frame. So basically, you're helping us with paperwork and running the SBI social media pages. Yep, Tommy nods. I did read the emails. Phil nods, seemingly amused by the entire situation. So you are aware that you are the only outsider who has access to any SBI social media accounts? Tommy blinks a few times at Phil. I'm what? Well, Wilbur only trusts one of the person with his accounts. Techno starts PR night mails whenever they try to get their hands on his accounts. Right. Tommy blinks a few times. Okay. So I basically make memes for the SBI and do paperwork, Phil says, so grinning. Memes and paperwork. That's what we wanted a young person who's not too uptight. Guess that's you. Yes, Phil's a Minecraft. Phil snorts. It's not bad. It's just Phil. Yes. Phil Minecraft. He snorts again and shakes his head. Let us know if you need anything, Phil says. It should be just across the hall. You may not, though. Then we'll be in the living area. Call out to Henry if you need us, right? Alright. He's being a bit glitchy. Phil scowls ever so slightly. I think Techno got into his code. I'd say Wilbur otherwise, apart from the fact that he's fucking banned. Phil shrugs. The cafeteria is on level 2. Show them your key card and you can get anything for free. Get used to the programs. Passwords are in the book in the drawer. Feel free to bring anything you want. Wait, what am I supposed to be doing? Phil laughs. Get the account on your phone. Document our daily lives. Turn it into something. I don't know. PI said they wanted a day in the life. Guess you could do that. Honestly, I don't really know. Tommy nods before standing up and pulling his phone out of his pocket. Time to document the exciting work of SBI. Phil laughs. That's how Tommy found himself in the cafeteria long before lunch. His phone popped up using a book and water bottle while he sits in front of Phil's Minecraft and has been interviewing him. He discovered that SBI live exceptionally boring lives when they're not crime fighting or whatever. They do normal things like cry laugh at a video of a goat fainting. That was Wilbur. And burn toast. That was Techno. Tommy had decided this was going to be a terrible video unless he got something exciting to happen. So now he's interviewing Philza Minecraft, the man himself. So, Philza, Tommy says, you've answered the basic questions that all true fans know. You know what not all fans know? What SBI is called? SBI. Phil blinks at him. What? What does SBI stand for? Tommy asks, mainly asking for himself. I mean, it's a pog name, I guess, but it has no meaning. It's a bunch of letters. What does it stand for? Salty Bitches Incorporated. Close. Phil grins. Really close. Tommy watches as Techno walk past the door. Oi, Techno! Mate, I don't think he's in a good mood. Techno pauses mid-step, rolls around, a motorist look in his eyes. What? He states. Tommy decides to pick up his phone and zooms it on Techno, looking like he wishes for death. Because he knows that'll become a meme template. He just knows it. The advantages of getting a younger person to do this, and suddenly it makes sense why they wanted a younger person to do this role. Techno stares before pulling out a dagger. It flies over Tommy's head and he screeches. What the fuck? You could have killed me. I didn't, Techno deadpans, walking forward and snatching the phone out of Tommy's hand. Hey, give that back. Tommy reaches out, but Techno's grinning and has the camera pointed at him. No, I'm behind the scenes. Give me the camera back. And here, Techno deadpans. We have a wild Tommy. You often find him in his natural habitat. Annoying Philza. Tommy grabs the water bottle that was holding the phone up, facing Phil. I will punt you, bitch. I'd like to see you try. Tommy throws the water bottle. It hits Techno square in the forehead. Tommy snatches the camera back, picks up the water bottle he's thrown on the ground. He looks at the blade. The blade looks back at him. Then he starts running, and Tommy screams before hiding behind Phil. Phil, save me! Phil laughs. Somehow, Tommy survives that battle. What can he say? He's just so smart like that. Threatening to kick Techno somehow got him to back off. And we'll make a hilarious bit for the video, which is going to be made out of this mess. He's excited to edit it, actually. Between that, Wilbur ranting about ant needles to Phil, who would look straight at the camera inside like it was a fucking office. In the interview with Phil, he's pretty sure it'd be enough to make some sort of video. Which leads Tommy to lunch, eating the roll that he was given. Sitting at a table, stuck between wanting to call Tupper and Rambo and enjoying the silence at the table. Look, it had been a lot. First day had been a lot, and Tommy wants a nap. Someone slams their hand against the table, and Tommy looks up. To meet with Wilbur, looking down at him. Eyes mixed with concern and annoyance. Ah, perfect. Hey, Tommy says. How are your ribs? Wilbur asks, sitting across from him. Excuse me. Tommy just thinks for a moment. He isn't feeling a lot. Maybe a mix of high pain tolerance and just being himself. Doesn't hold. He shrugged and back to his role. I have high pain tolerance. My roommates joked that I wouldn't know if my leg wasn't attached. It's a lame attempt at a joke, anything to make Will laugh and get off his back. But it didn't appear to work. More gassy. That's not always a good thing, Will says, and Tommy hates how gentle he sounds as he says it. Take care of yourself. Please, you're a good kid. I'm fine, he said, like a Lyle. Tommy glares. Will glares back, just as fierce. You sure? Will says, adjusting his glasses. Because you're allowed to be a bit, not doing so great. I mean, you came in bruised twice. Tommy looks at him. I don't know what you're trying to imply. I don't do subtext. Just say it if you're not a pussy. Will opens his mouth, his face flashing through several different emotions at once. Tommy shrugs. Look, muggings happen. Your ribs somehow got worse. I'm not careful, Tommy replies, and it's not even that much of a lie. Just enough of the truth where he doesn't feel too bad about lying to anyone. Half-truths is what Tubbo calls them. He's gotten very good at telling half-truths. I'm fine. It's not even your job to worry about me. Will blinks at him, something behind his eyes which Tommy couldn't identify. I can still worry about you. Well, you don't have to. Okay then, Will says, apparently relenting. Also, Henry said you had more bruises. Fucking snitch. Boy, he exclaims, no Henry slander in this house. Tommy stares at him for a long moment. It's a fucking AI. Will looks like Tommy just committed a crime. He jumped up on the table, did a little dance, and yelled out, I am a vigilante. All things he did not do. He merely just stated that the AI was an AI, and therefore did not have feelings. Take that back, right now. You little shit. And at that moment, 3 things happened, almost in the span of a few seconds. 1. A gunshot echoes out across the room. 2. Tommy managed to grab Will and haul him to his side of the table, the side where the gunshot didn't come from. 3. Flip the table so that they could hide behind it. It happens quicker than Tommy could merely process. He's behind the table, catching his breath as he tries to figure out what the best next action is. He can't run out. Whoever is here might not even know. He could be looking the wrong direction entirely. Holy shit, Will whispered. Holy shit! Holy shit! Don't fucking move, Tommy hisses back. Another gunshot, and Tommy winces at the sound of it. Fuck, he muttered, spinning around so that he can peer out from the side of the table. 3 guys, all with guns, masks, and are apparently taking hostages. Tommy takes a deep breath. Is this what you meant when you talk about stressful situations? He hisses. Will pauses, mulling it over. Yeah. Okay, cool, just checking. Tommy peers around the table again. How often does this fucking happen? Excuse me. Not that often, Will says. It's difficult to get in here. Holy shit, is Kristen okay? Okay, Tommy sighs. How good are you at phasing through bullets? Shit. Stand up, Tommy hisses, rather not fancy getting shot today. Will hisses, checking on the edge of the table before sighing. Great. My enhancements are basically useless. But mine aren't, voice whistles in the back of his head. A plan is starting to form in Tommy's head. However, it involves a scary situation. There's probably having a gun pointed at him, and him being used as leverage for Wibble. But, hey, he will win. Tommy takes a deep breath, considering all the options for a long moment. He looks at Wibble. I don't want to get shot today. Slowly he stands up, hands in the air. No, Tommy, Wibble cries out. Perfect. 3 heads turn to face them. 3 guns are pointed at Tommy, and all he can do is take a deep breath and pray that this isn't the way he's dying. Not when everything's not looking like shit for once in his sorry life. Was that Spectral? Someone says and points the gun a bit closer. Hey, look at this kid. Okay, I'm 19, what the fuck? Shut it. For once, Tommy decides now's the time to shut up. Now what he needs is Wibble to be scaled and to surrender himself. To make a plan with Wibble while just making eye contact and maybe drop a piece of wall on them. Or do something when Wibble isn't looking. Someone grabs him and yanks him backwards. Wibble makes a noise but stands up too. Don't hold him. Has both hands in the air. Don't hold anyone here. Don't know, another one of them says, taunting. It'd be fun to make a PR disaster. Kid gets shot. None of the heroes could save him. Tommy looks at Wibble. Wibble looks back. Something like recognition forming in his eyes. On the count of 3, Tommy mouths, and Wibble flicks his hair back, but it's a nod. Cool. This would work fine. Tommy takes a deep breath, steadying himself. 1, he mouths. Wibble looks ready to grab a chair and throw it. 2. He mouths again. Wibble's eyes are widened. Tommy's ready to headbutt. 3. He throws his head back, hearing someone make a crack and rolling around. Grabs the gun, or the arms holding the gun, makes it point upwards toward the roof. Still wrestling for the gun, with little hesitation, he fires it. His ears ring, making several holes in the ceiling, and probably making it incredibly unsteady. He fires it until the gun clicks and the magazine is empty. With the gun, he yanks it out of the person's hands and uses it to slap him across the face with it. Wibble is somewhere, mostly translucent, fighting and ducking. Tommy grabs the gun, pointing it at the 2 men fighting Wibble. Stop! Tommy cries out and is pointing the gun with a bit too steady hands for his liking. Guns down, he states, and 2 people are staring at him like he's crazy. One of the people staring at him like that is Wibble. I will shoot, Tommy says, hating how steady he sounds. He's supposed to sound at least a little scared. He's never wielded a gun before. The gun won't even fire. It's fucking empty. It's just a prop. Weapons down. 2 guns skittle across the floor, and Tommy takes a deep breath. Alright, everything's resolved, he says, stops pointing the gun at anyone. Excellent. Now, Spectral, what do we do? Tommy watches one of the people reach behind them, and when the arm goes back in front of them, they have a knife and are running for Wibble. The other one has picked up the gun and is studying it, pointing straight between Wibble's eyes. Wibble, who isn't currently translucent. Wibble, who's about to get stabbed or shot, or both if Tommy doesn't do anything. He glances up. That section of ceiling could totally fall down. It's been shot at. Who's gonna see? No one's here apart from him and Wibble. He concentrates his energy, following it up, and then he yanks down a section of ceiling. It lands on top of the person with the knife, and it hits the person who has the gun, too. Wibble is by his side, and pulling him back away from the people and holding him close by the arm, the ceiling chunk on the floor, and the person trapped underneath it. They'd be fine. Ceiling bits didn't hold too much. It cost more property damage, anyway. Tommy lets himself stare at the mess. One of the people is unconscious when he pistol whipped. One of them is trapped under a bit of rubble. It's not severe enough to kill or really injure him, but still traps him. The one who had the gun was on his knees, hands behind his head, and gun thrown across the floor. Stressful enough situation for you? Wibble whispers. Holy shit, Wibble whispers. Holy shit, he says louder. And yeah, holy shit sums it up pretty well. Okay, there we go. That's the end of chapter 4, I believe. We're gonna end here. I'm gonna stop. I've streamed for 2 hours, technically, because I streamed an hour for the fanfic and an hour for it beforehand. And this is all for today. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in and stopping by. I hope you all had a lovely time. We'll be resuming reading this fanfic soon. I'm not sure when. Maybe tomorrow. But that's all for now. And I love you all. And I'll see you all next time, okay? Hang on while I close up the stream. Bye, everyone. Hang on. It hasn't ended yet. I'm still closing it. Okay, goodbye.